Good. I'm Ethan.
I'm Kaylee.
I'm Samantha.
And this is our presentation about Ruth Benedict. She was born June 5th, 1887 in the 19th century. She died on September 17th in 1948. In her early life, she was born in New York City in 1887 to Patrice and Frederick Fulton. Her mother and father had very good jobs. Her father was a doctor and a surgeon, which was thought to be the reason why he caught a disease and died later in life when Ruth was very young. Ruth and her mother moved up to Ruth's mother's parents up in upstate New York, where his father spent her last days. Ruth's mother did not cope with the death of her father very well, as she was depressed and overwhelmed with grief. Ruth saw this as a weakness. And ever since her father's death, Ruth had a very great fascination with death in life. And she read many books as she could at a very young age.
Okay, Ruth's family. Her father was Frederick Fulton. Her mother was Beatrice Fulton. She married Stanley Rossiter Benedict. Her sister was Marjorie Fulton. She had two grandparents that she spent most of her childhood with. Her education. At the age of 7, she began to read almost every book she could get her hands on. She attended high school at St. Margaret's School for Girls, which was a preparatory school in New York City. She went to Vassar College in September of 1905 and graduated from there. Wanting to become an educational philosopher, she attended lectures at the New School of Social Research. She graduated as a student of Columbia University, receiving a PhD in 1923.
Okay, her theories and beliefs. Ruth believed that there was no natural antagonism between a person and society. While she concluded that society may restrict freedom through laws and regulations, she also thought that society was not made up of its laws. Ruth said that a society is created by individuals and expresses the ideas of these people even when the law tries to restrict these thoughts. She was a strong advocate on the belief that the individual does not exist independently from a culture, but as a result of the culture. Her career. Ruth received her PhD from Columbia and became a faculty member at Columbia. In 1948, she was promoted to a full-time professor and was the first woman to receive that rank in the political science field. She remained at Columbia for the rest of her career. Okay, her rhetoric and writing. A summary. Throughout the world, there are many forms of society, whether it is race, educational system, type of lifestyle, or even the food that the society eats. Each one has a different culture. The culture and the lifestyle of those people of that particular society live in is affected by the society itself. Therefore, this ultimately causes a sense of hostility towards the society. The culture provides these things that the person makes his life out of. Depending on one's cultural background, their own personal success will inevitably be determined by their society. This in return angers the person because they are reliant on the society to offer them a life of luxury. This conflict of cultural conduct between the society and the individual is translated as being a sense of rejecting the individual's freedom. The society has been in place throughout history. It is in the individual's job to conform to it so they are not shunned from their own people. This is an example of the men and women of the Zuni tribe. Not all of the men or women are strong, notable individuals. Some take this role to shelter themselves from the responsibilities the men take on. The response to the role is recognized through the tribe. If individuals have natural abilities, they give it opportunity. If they are weak and have no abilities, then they fail in weakness of character, not by the contradiction of the culture. Culture has a great effect on one's life. It is apparent through Benedict's claims. Society impacts a person's life through their natural abilities,